YouTube, what's poppin'? It's your girl, Mads here, and today is our first video back in a pretty long time. I did 5 vlogs all last week when I was in Florida, so if you guys haven't seen those, go check those out. But basically, I haven't been did like a channel video in a pretty long time. The last one I did, I believe, was, what was it? Oh, back to school everyday outfits, so if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. It will be in the eye over on this side. But yeah. So today we're doing a story time telling you guys how I almost died. It was so crazy. Me and my brother both almost died, and it was crazy. It was like a few years ago. I think it was like 4 years ago, but without further ado, let's go so I can tell you guys the story. So basically, it was like 4-ish years ago, and we're on a cruise, and it's going to Cozumel. So if you don't know what Cozumel is, it's in Mexico. And we're at this like beach resort, and so we're just staying there for the day because we're at like a port on the cruise. So if you know what that means, if you've never been on a cruise, your boat stops at a place, and then you get off and spend the whole day there, and then come back at like 7 o'clock at night, and that's when the ship leaves. Well, so we're spending the whole day at this beach in Mexico, and so we're super excited. It's like my brother, my mom, and my dad, and that was it. So we're there, and there's like a big obstacle course in the ocean. So we're like, we want to do it. So we're kind of like hesitant about it though. Like me and Ray, my brother, both really want to do it. My dad is like, okay, like we'll pay for you guys to go do it, like have fun. My mom is like, well, I don't know if they should do it or not. But we ended up doing it, but there was life jackets and there wasn't life jackets, and only like the little babies were wearing the life jackets, like the 2 and 3 year olds. But they weren't even going out to where we were swimming. But we still decided to swim without the life jackets all the way out to this obstacle course in the ocean. And it was pretty far obstacle course, if I don't have to say so. I mean, like, I'm a pretty good swimmer, and it was pretty far. It was probably like a half a mile to this obstacle course, maybe even a little farther. But all I remember was like halfway, there was a buoy in the water, and you could like swim to it and like hold on. But I don't know, it was really scary, and it was pretty deep, like you couldn't really touch. And it was really far out, so it's not like you could walk there. So we're swimming, we finally get there, and we realize there's only one worker, and the worker does not speak very good English, so it's like every other word you could really understand, and he had such a strong accent that like we couldn't understand him, and he couldn't really understand us, so it was bad. And like my brother, he was taking Spanish at the time, but it wasn't like, you don't take Spanish 1, you're not fluent Spanish, so like he knew like the basic words, but like, you know what I mean, like he didn't know like every like single thing, so he could like pick up like hello, like how are you doing, like all that stuff in Spanish, but not like if we needed help or anything. So there's this guy, he lifts us up, so it's kind of hard to explain, but if you're in the water, you can't touch the ground, and there is this like obstacle course, and it's like this tall, and it's floating on the ground. There's no way I could pull myself up that high 4 years ago, so that means I was 10 years old, almost 11, so I don't know, I really didn't have that much upper body strength back then, so I couldn't do it, and neither could my brother, who is 3 years older than me, so he was 13 at the time. But yeah, it was really, really crazy, and so this guy's like pulling us up, and we're like, alright, and this obstacle course, I'll see if I can like insert a picture and put it on one of these sides of the obstacle course that I was on. I think I could probably find it online somewhere. I don't know if they got new stuff since then or anything, but I'll see if I can find it. But basically, we were doing it, and they had one of those, there was like slides and stuff, there's like slides on this obstacle course, and like ropes things, and things you could like jump over and climb over, and like little trampolines. Well, so Ray fell in, and it was like, Ray fell in, and this was guarded off. So this part was like, you just fell in, he fell in the middle. So since he fell in the middle, there was no way of like swimming like around to get back up. He was stuck in the middle. So I'm trying to like pull Ray back up. I'm trying to lift him up. I'm 10 at the time. I'm pretty skinny 10-year-old. Like I can't lift anything for my life. Barely lift my water bottle. So I'm like trying to like lift Ray out of the water. He pulls me into the water. I fall in. No one is like watching us at this time. Like it's literally me, Ray, without life jackets on in the middle of the ocean with people who don't speak English, and at this like crazy like obstacle course. So we're like sitting in the water freaking out, don't know what to do, can't figure out how to get back up. We're like, maybe we should swim under it, but if we swim under it, then like I don't know how far it is until we get back up, and it's really heavy and big, so we don't know if that's gonna work. So then we're like we're like waving people on, trying to like get them to help us. And so we finally had this girl help me get out of the water. At this point, she cannot get Ray to get out of the water. I wasn't that hard to get out of the water, so she got me out. No one could get Ray. So then her husband, who was like at the other end of the obstacle course, she's like shouting to him, finally comes over. They're speaking like Arabic, I think. They're speaking like a different language, not Spanish and not English. So they're speaking a different language, and they were like calling over, and they're like trying to get this, like her husband to come over here. And it was really confusing because we didn't know what she was saying, and like she didn't know what we were saying because like she didn't speak English. So she's like trying to get her husband like comes over and like gets Ray out of the water. So then we're like, thank you so much, like blah blah blah, whatever. So then we keep going, doing the obstacle course. It was like so crazy. So we're doing this obstacle course, And there was this guy, and he was like my age, probably like, no, he was probably a little older, probably like a year or two older than me. Oh shoot, my camera. Okay, she was probably like a year or two older than me. So he was like, dude, come on, do this thing. So if you don't know what it is, you're like, it's a big sack looking thing, and someone like sits on the end, and you like, and you jump on it, and the person like flies in the air. And I was like, no, mom specifically said not to do that. And Raisa was like, I'm gonna do it, like it's fine, like mom's like a mile and a half back, or half a mile away, she's not gonna be able to see that's me. And so he was gonna do it, and it was crazy. I was like, no, like we cannot do that, like it's dangerous, like it looks scary, like you're not wearing a life jacket, what if you can't swim all the way back? Could it would like this is it, right? You would sit on it, it would like fly up and you would shoot all the way out. So I was like, there's no way. I was like, no way. So he ended up not doing it. I convinced him not to. So we tried a different obstacle course, and it was like monkey bars over a big square of water. We tried to do the monkey bars, but we fell straight into the monkey bars. And at this point, the girl and his wife were gone. The Mexican guy who was helping us on, who spoke Spanish, like the worker, he had taken his jet ski and rode it back to the resort, and he was gone. And he had like, I think he was done with the shift or something, but he was no longer there. So it was a whole bunch of kids, me, and a whole bunch of people in line for these monkey bars. Ray's in there, we're all trying to like figure out how to get Ray out, but everyone's like, yeah, there was literally like a few other people that spoke English, but like they couldn't help Ray get out either. So then the kid that was trying to get Ray to do the jumpy thing jumped in to the water to help Ray get out. But he couldn't get out either, so those two are stuck in the water. Like me and like this little girl who were like 5, were trying to pull them out, and it was so bad, and no one could figure out how to get out of the water. And then at this point, we finally figure out how to get out of the water, and people keep leaving the water, like it's like thinning out, less people are here, but we're really not paying that much attention to it. We're like, oh, maybe people are just done, like they finished the obstacle course. So we keep going. And we're climbing and doing spinny things and like jumping over everything. And at this point, my parents this whole time have been on the beach. So it's probably been like an hour and a half right now, and we are in the water. And as we're in the water, we fell back into the water, and we're in a little square. So the wall again is this high, and me and Ray are both stuck. There's no way of us getting out, and no one sees us because the wall is this high and we're far from everyone. So no one had seen us. We're sitting in the water, freaking out, don't know what to do, and we both thought we were gonna die. Honestly, we were both talking about it. We were like, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna get out of this? We're like screaming, no one's hearing us. The wall is like this high. The waves are like crashing into this thing. Like the obstacle course is like moving. You can't swim under it because it was so big and so heavy that you really couldn't lift it up and swim under it. And we were scared that if you swim under it, we wouldn't make it back up, sort of thing. So that was really scary. And so I would try to like stand on Ray's shoulders, but it was really hard because you can't touch the ground. So we're like stuck drowning. We were literally like freaking out, didn't know what to do. Our parents weren't there. We weren't wearing life jackets. We are freaking out at this point. So no one comes in, no one like tries to help us, like no one, I don't even think any, like some people saw us but thought like, what are they doing? And they like, oh, we were like, help, help, but they were like, thought we were like waving at, I don't even know. It was the craziest thing. We were like stuck in the water. No one is like helping us. And then we were just sitting there, and this guy comes by. He's like a really big guy, and he's trying to like help us get out of the water. So at this point, he's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And we're like, but like he had a very strong accent. I'm like, we can't get out of the water. We can't get out. We can't get out of the water. And so he was trying to help us, but he fell in. So he was like trying to like lean over and like pull us, and he fell in. And he like fell in. So he couldn't get out. And at this point, he physically lifted me up, took me out of the water, and put me on there. So he couldn't touch either. It's very, very deep. We're in the ocean. So, but he lifts me up and puts me on there. I was this very light little 10-year-old who was doing this. So he lifts me up. I made it on top. At this point, I didn't know what to do, so I found someone who was coming in for their shift on the jet skis. So he's driving in, and he comes over and was like, okay, we need to get, and he doesn't speak very good English either. So I was like, my brother and this guy are stuck inside this and stuck in the water. Can you help us get him out? And he was like, what? Well, I don't understand what you're saying. Like, he like physically did not understand what he was saying. So I was like, what are we gonna do? So Ray is still like stuck in the water. We get this guy to come over. He's trying to pull Ray out of the water. Finally gets Ray out of the water. This man is still stuck in the water, but me and Ray are like, we need to go. So me and Ray leave. This guy is like, the worker is still in the water with this guy. We're like, all right, we are done. We are not doing any more of this. That was crazy. At that point, we were in the water for like 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and we had been gone for like 2.5 hours. But we didn't know that we were gone for that long, but I'll tell you, as we keep going home, we knew we were gone for that long. So we ended up swimming back. We stopped at the buoy. We were like out of breath from the obstacle course, freaking out that we're like, we almost died. Like, we could have died. Like, the waves were like crashing over our heads. Like, they were super big. The whole like obstacle course was like rocking. Like, we didn't know if we had to swim under. No one saw us. We were like freaking out. No life jackets, and it's super deep. So we're swimming back. We just got to the buoy. We're like holding on, and we see our parents. So my mom is like waving us in, and my dad is waving us in, and we're like, we're really confused. So we're still swimming, we're like totally out of breath, like it's so deep. This guy is coming with us. The guy was with us that wanted my brother to do the jumpy thing was with us. So he's swimming back too, making all these stupid jokes about how we got stuck and stuff. But like, I don't know, he got stuck too, so it was really confusing. I don't know, but we're all swimming back. Our parents are like waving us in. We finally get back, and my mom was telling us how she was freaking out because we were gone for 2.5 to 2 hours and 45 minutes long. That's how long we were gone, and usually the guy said it takes like an hour. So we were gone super long, way longer than you're supposed to be gone, almost an hour and a half longer. And not the lifeguard, but the guy who was running, and he wasn't even a lifeguard, just a guy running on the jet ski, putting people onto the obstacle course. My mom asked him, he was like, do people ever die on this obstacle course? And he says, yeah, they have a few people a week die on this obstacle course. And I thought that was crazy because, like, why wouldn't they be shut down? But they say they don't shut it down because it's in the ocean and people drown, and that's not the obstacle course's fault. But honestly, the whole time after we got back to shore, I was thinking that could have been me, like, me or Ray. Like, we both could have, like, drowned that day. So I think that was really crazy, and, like, it would have been, I don't know, it would have been really scary and stuff. Like, it was already so scary, and like now, like when I do those obstacle course things, I'm like always super careful. So the next time we did obstacle course, I was wearing my life jacket, thankfully, and I was like always made sure that like me and Ray were together, and then like there was people that we like made friends like while we were doing the obstacle course. So like the next times we always did it, we always had like someone who like spoke English there that we made friends with, so that like if we like something happened, like they can help us or we can help them. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this story time. It was a really crazy experience, that's for sure. And I literally have so many crazy stories. So if you guys like my story times, make sure you like this. So if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the little bell to get notified every time I post a video. And yeah, if you guys liked my story times, make sure you comment it down below and give this video a like and watch it a few extra times if you want, get some more views. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I have like so many crazy stories to tell you guys. So if you guys are interested, yeah, make sure you like this video because I literally have like 100 crazy whack job stories that I would love to tell you guys, but I don't want to tell you if you guys don't want to hear them. So yeah, bye guys, thank you so much for watching.